That's over 90% of the population. According to the World Health Organization, from October 7th to July 30th, 500 attacks on health services were reported. According to UNICEF, more than half of the schools used as shelters for the displaced have suffered direct hits in the last 10 months. On August 10th, the Israeli army struck a school in the Daraj neighborhood in Gaza City that was being used as a shelter for hundreds of displaced families. According to reports, the attack happened during morning prayers in the school's prayer area, killing an estimated 90 people, including 11 children and 6 women. We've reported in the past that there's about 20,000 new children with the new acronym WCNSF, Wounded Child, No Surviving Family. Thousands have been orphaned. The IDF reports hundreds to thousands are dead. Of course, we suspect that the IDF is underreporting the number of casualties that the Israeli Defense Forces have experienced. The British journal, The Lancet, a medical journal, a highly prestigious medical journal, said that because the number of deaths in war usually are 3 to 4 times the number of casualties that are direct casualties of the war, they estimate that 186,000 people in Gaza will die as a result of the conflict if it were to end today. John Mearsheimer, the great political scientist from the University of Chicago, said that he suspects the number is well over 250,000. The World Health Organization estimates that before the Rafah invasion, about 50 patients exited through the crossing on average each day, and there are currently about 14,000 patients who are in need of medical evacuations, with the number expected to rise given the collapse of the healthcare services, but they're unable to get out. 2 months after the start of the war, United Nations agencies estimated that a third of the residents of northern Gaza Strip suffered from a catastrophic lack of food, and the proportion of children under the age of 2 who were malnourished has reached about 15%. At the same time, many reports were published about Gaza residents who reportedly have been reduced to eating weeds or animal feed, both of which are also scarce, and drinking contaminated water. In March, the Palestinian Ministry of Health in Gaza reported that deaths of 28 children as a result of malnutrition and dehydration. And since then, more cases have been reported. According to an updated report on the IPC index, Gaza's entire population faces imminent famine. Polio has been discovered now in the water, hepatitis A. Reports are saying that this is only the start of the wave of disease. Every university, over 20 have been destroyed. 25 of the 36 hospitals are non-operational. Others are operating at less than 100%. Most government offices have been destroyed in Gaza, 50% of the housing. Estimates are it'll take 80 years to rebuild Gaza. The U.S., of course, sent another $20 billion in foreign aid to Israel just a couple weeks ago. To date, 39,900 or more than 39,900 people in Gaza have died. 70% of them are civilians. 2,100 children under the age of 2 have died since the war in Gaza began. 92,000 are reported to be wounded. 1.9 million people are internally displaced.